Oh, hello there. Hope everyone is doing well this early morning or late evening, I guess. Um, I am Toorima. I'll be doing Final Fantasy Legend 2, and I believe the category for today is the four monster category. So I hope you like watching four robots uh, four robots killing everything and saving the world. Alright, four robots. Could I get some four-letter names in chat, and I will throw them up. I will use them, I guess, not throw them up. Mark, Bill, Bunsen, Hank. Oh man, there's a bunch. I can't use numbers. Holy cow! All right, I'm looking real quick before I start. I'm just gonna pick one at a couple at random. Holy moly! Oh man, these are awful. I love it. I'm going with Hank, Robo, YOLO, and Yeet. Because, of course. Oh, Derp's good too. Alright, I guess we'll get started here. I reset the RNG and everything while I was waiting, so let's get started, I guess. 3, 2, 1, go. So this is the story of, I guess, four robots this time, trying to save the world. Actually, we're looking for our dad, we find out. So as you can tell, we usually don't put names in. Instead, we just usually just use one character because it's faster. So, all right. So, Dad leaves us. He goes out the window, and then we grow up. Our robot self grows up. So we grow up and realize that we want to find our dad. So we go to school. And here we talk to Mr. S, and he tells us about the Magi and how our dad gave us one before he left. So we decide that we're going to go find our dad and the Magi together. The Magi our dad gave us we can actually use, and it tells us how many Magi are in each world. Alright, so we're going to take our three robot friends here. We're going to take Robo, YOLO, and Yeet. So yeah, Mr. S is our teacher, and he's just like, yeah, take your friends with you. So oh, I have to do Yeet in all caps? I can't change it. Man, no. Dead run. Alright, so Mr. S joins us. So we are going to go through the first cave and try to run from everything. We're going to be running from everything. The way this game works is you run based off of your agility and the enemy's agility. And if yours is higher, you can run. If not, you get a can't run. So, most of the game we're going to be running. if we can. If you die, your character just revives at the end of the battle, which is why we don't care if they die. Alright, so the way this game works is if you have humans or espers, they gain stats based off of like the items you use in the battle. So if you use an agility weapon, you'll gain agility, strength, just kind of like Final Fantasy II. But the robots were completely different. The robots only gain stats based off of what they have equipped. So if you don't have, so my guys all just have Colts right now. So they all have the same stats, the same HP and everything else. We're going to be equipping them to just make quick work of enemies and enemies and bosses later in the run. There will be meat drops in this game, but the meat doesn't do anything for robots because they can't eat the meat. Only monsters can, and monsters, when they eat meat, they change what monster they are. Alright, so here in the first town, we're going to make Hank and Robo useless. We're going to be selling our Colts on them and buying a bunch of bows just to get agility for my robots so I can run. So YOLO and Yeet are going to be full bows. We're just going to duct tape all of them on there. I forgot about the other two Colts. So each bow adds 2 agility, so they're gonna have 19 agility each, which will make me be able to run from battles when I have a companion. When you have a companion, so I had Mr. S, you can run from battles, but it's just a lot harder to run when you have a companion. So that's why we stack our agility as fast as we can to make sure we can run from everything. Alright, so we're going to go to Key's shrine, or Isis's shrine, and talk to Key in here. And she's going to tell us about, we're asking about our dad and Magi from her. She's going to give us a little hint on where to go. So this category is all about money management, pretty much. We have to be able to buy a lot of equipment to make our robots not useless. Alright, so down here we're going to, we're actually going to just be running from everything like we were, and then we're going to pick up a couple of treasure chests, and then we're going to start getting the Magi. That's like the MacGuffin of this game. Except you can use it and equip it, so it's not completely just worthless. So here we get a whip. It's going to give our robots even more agility. Yeah, they recycle sprites a lot, so we're gonna have a lot of sprites reused over and over again for different characters. So you'll also probably start to notice that the encounter rate in this game is pretty high, but then other times, like right now, it doesn't feel really high. It goes through a count, like there's so many steps you do, and you'll be able to manipulate it if you really wanted to. So it's weird. You'll go for like 60 steps sometimes with no battles, and then all of a sudden the next time you'll get 3 battles and 4 fights, or 3 battles and 4 steps. There we go. Alright, so the music changed, so these guys said someone's coming, and they take the Magi and run. So here's some Magi. Power, speed, and mana. Each one you get, so you'll get multiple of the same ones. Each one you get adds 3 to your relative stat when you equip it. So we're going to be equipping the... Yeet's going to get the whip to get more... You can have the bow. Actually, let's take it off, because... And then we're also going to give him the speed. So Yeet's going to actually be doing all the damage for a while, because he's got all the agility, and agility's broken in this game. Alright, so we are going to go tell Key about what happened here. And Key is going to let us know what we should be doing next. Great name choices, by the way, while you guys were throwing them out there. Alright, so Key joins our party. So Key's actually awfully slow. Oh man, okay. That sprite can just go down the stairs and block you. But Key joins our party, but she's incredibly slow. So that's why I bought all the bows to begin with, because you can actually run then. If you don't have a high enough agility, you'll just get can't runs this whole next little area. Alright, so we are in Ashura's base with some dancing zombies. If you talk to them, you get in a... If you talk to them, you get into a fight. So we're going to be avoiding them at all costs. Or if you accidentally run into them as well. Like I said, in this category, we're going to be pretty much... we're going to just be getting most of the items in the game so we can sell them. Just to buy more agility stuff for our robot, our last robot for now. And then towards the end, we're going to be able to actually afford, after a little grinding, to buy equipment for more than just one robot. Hey, they moved out of the way. So we usually avoid that one since there's 3 dancing zombies around it, but they were out of the way, and I need all the extra money I can get, so... Almost to the end of this one. Let's see if they were kind. So some of the sprite works in this, like, if you both walk on the square at the same time, you'll just cut right through them. So that happens sometimes. So Key's going to be doing all of our damage to this rhino that doesn't look like a rhino. Because I unequipped everyone. So the reason I take the items off of the first 2 robots is because I don't have to select an item, or I don't have to select anything for them. Hey, rhino meat. So that's what the meat looks like. Alright, so we kill the rhino and it blows up. The building up, I guess, somehow. Get some more magi. Alright, so Ashura's base is destroyed, so we're just gonna go up into the hub world and go to the next area. So Key stays behind in her own world. So that was World 1. And then we're just gonna go back, or go to the next game, or area, next game. Yep, game's over, next game. Alright, so this is the desert we're gonna be going to. And there, we are going to be going to Ashura's palace here, I believe it is. So in this game, there's like an overworld kind of, is where I was in space, I guess it is, and it connects all the worlds. So that's where we were to go from the first world to here. Alright, so if you walk through the desert, as long as you know your way, it's not bad. I know when I was a kid, I would always get lost in the desert since it all kind of looks the same. As you saw, some sand was moving and some sand was not moving. If you get too close to some of the cactuses, not all of them, they'll just like push you around. So I would just get lost in there as a kid forever. Alright, so this is Ashura's tower. We're just gonna be running from everything, climbing our way to the top to go fight Ashura. Now we're going to get our main damage dealer for the Yeet. We're going to get our Saber. So he's got 27 agility now, so we should be able to run from everything. And all of a sudden he's going to be doing pretty good damage. Here's another mini-boss for fighting a random encounter first. And then we're going to fight a woodman that just says, hey. And just take him down in one hit. And then we get a guy that looks just like our dad, but is not our dad. He's actually masked because he's wearing a mask. I believe in the DS remake, they actually addressed this, that it is not your dad, it is someone else. Alright, so Mask has no equipment until you get to that little spot there. So if you got into a battle, he wouldn't have been able to fight at all. So now he's able to fight. So just picking up some more equipment to sell. Alright. So, getting treasures. We're gonna actually skip those two. They're 2 potions. They only sell for 500 gold. They're potions that add to stats, but we don't add to the stats. Oh, I thought they addressed it, that he isn't dad, though. Alright, so we're gonna safety save here. And we're gonna fight Ashura. So you get to hear some awesome boss music, so enjoy. So Flame is fine because he kills some of the people that we don't need, and Yeet is still alive to attack with his saber, and Ashura is down. So as you see here, we just make one killer robot for now, just to take over the world, and we'll eventually make the other ones help out. It's gonna take a little while, but we'll get there. Alright, so Ashura sent men into Key's body to steal the Magi out of her body, because she has Magi in her body. That's how she's able to heal people. So the fairy there tells us that if we go to Giant's World, we can get a Micron potion to shrink down inside, or to shrink down small enough that we can go inside of Key's body to defend her body from the Ashura's men. So we have to go to Giant's World to get the Micron. Alright, so here's Father. Look, he remembers us. You know, that's good. I'm glad he remembers his son, Hank the robot. He's grown up so much since he's seen him. He looks so much different. Alright, so we have to go back to behind this shop. And this guy sells Giants equipment. So we have to talk to him to find out where he's getting his Giants equipment. So he goes tells us that we have to go talk to Johnny. See, we are going to go talk to Johnny about it. So we get to the coffee shop and talk to this guy, and it's Johnny. Okay, so he tells us there's a spot in the stairs that we can go in the Giant's Town. And then we tell him we think he's a giant, and he said it's not true. It doesn't matter what you pick there. Yes is just faster. Hey, they moved out of the way for once. Alright, so we're going to go to the Giant section of Giant's World. I assume this line here is supposed to be like a cliff, because we can't cross over. So even though you can easily tell how to get in by talking to this brick here, and it's a secret door, you can't do that unless you talk to Johnny. Because JRPG logic, I guess. So we have two houses we can go into here. So we have to go into this house first. This thing I'm coming under here is a table, I think. So we're like under a table right now. Get some Magi. And then these are some Giants' beds that the Giants sleep in. And then we actually have to go to that one first because we need the Magi to go into the next house. Magi isn't just like a straight MacGuffin in this game. Like I said, you can equip it and use them. But it also, you need it to go to the next section of the game, next section in like the overworld area. If you try to go to like the next world without enough Magi, the game will tell you you don't have enough Magi. Must be running from everything. So running isn't 100% always going to happen. It happens almost. It looks like it's happening 100% because our agility is so high. So it should be 100% for me. But as a casual playthrough, if you don't have a high enough agility, you won't be able to just run from everything like we are. There is no grinding for levels. Oh, there's a little bit of grinding in this category because we have to buy a bunch of equipment to make our robots stronger. But that's not for another hour or so. Why are there terrorists in the Giant's house? I don't know. The Giant's house is not for the faint of heart, I guess. Alright, so we have to get by one piece of equipment. We're going to buy an SMG. It's like the gun category, so I think it's technically the SMG gun, like so the submachine gun. And he is just gonna start shooting stuff now. He's gonna lose 2 agility, but that's fine. So the big thing we want to do, or that every runner of this game has done by accident, and we always want to avoid, is you don't want to sell the Micron. If you sell the Micron, you actually have to go all the way back to Giant's Town and pick it up again. Which, thankfully, the game lets you pick it up again. It's not just a soft lock. So it's not even, you can't even get like infinite gold or anything because it only sells for 1 gold. So I hope you enjoy the sound of Key's bite. So we jump inside of Key's nose or mouth, I think, and now we are inside of Key's body. Hopefully the lull does not put you to sleep. We're going to be stealing some magi out of her body. 1 from each hand, 1 from each foot. Her heart, her stomach, and then the last one we have to get is her brain. We actually can't go to her brain unless we go and get all the other magi first. It's locked. So yeah, she's got some bad issues going on. If you look at all these enemies that are inside her, she's got crabs in here, there's terrorists inside of her, so Key's got some issues happening inside of her body. Yeah, this music's almost put me to sleep before. Just because I would just be streaming at like this time, and it just it happens the whole time, and it's just like, you know, it's just like, oof, man, it puts you to sleep. She's got stones inside of her. I just feel bad for her. There's definitely a horse inside of her, yes. I'm more concerned that there's terrorists inside of her. Alright, 1 from each hand done. But yeah, this section's a little bit long, so enjoy the music if you're enjoying it. If not, then just don't enjoy it and mute for a little bit. Yeah, Key's had a rough life, I guess, or a rough, however long it's been since Ashura sent his men to get the magi out of her. We are just leaving all the enemies here. Yep. Maybe they'll just disappear when there's no magi inside of her. Maybe just like, oh, well, there's nothing to steal anymore. Let's just get out. Alright, on to the foot. So, if you don't know where they are in the hands and feet, like, you can go up and down like every finger and toe, but you'll eventually learn where they all are. The hand's always the second to the left, the foot's always the rightmost one. But yeah, if you guys are like nurses or doctors or going to nursing or doctor school, this would be a good way for you to learn about the anatomy of a human body. You got the flashing, moving cells, and then you got the stream that you can drive a robot up and down. We saw what the hands and feet look like. We saw what the heart looks like with the 4 chambers. We're going to go see what the intestines look like now, with the stomach at the end, so... And this is the intestines here. So hopefully this is 100% accurate, in case you need to ever see the inside of a human body. I'm mean, as much as I joke about this area and laugh about it and lull through it, it's pretty well done for a Game Boy game to have an extra world pretty much be inside of someone's body and make it kind of realistic for a Game Boy game. I guess it's realistic from a Game Boy stance. You have a high terrorist count. Yeah, the terrorist count is high. But we can just run from them, it's fine. Maybe it's the same terrorist over and over again and we're just running from it. It could be accurate too. Okay, one more foot. One more Magi in the foot. And then we can go take her brain Magi out. Alright, let's go take the one out of her brain. This section actually took me a really long time as a kid because I didn't know about agility, and so I couldn't run from everything, so I would just die over and over again. Yeah, there are some good translations, so I'm going to save here just in case. I should be fine, but I should just one-shot them, but in case for some reason I don't go first. So seeing 7 is actually good because we get more money. And like I said, about this category, money is the big thing. Alright, so we get all the Magi out of Key's body. She can't heal anymore, we ruin her life, and we just leave. We don't even talk to her or anything. See you later, Key. Alright, so on to the next world. The next world we're going to be going to is Apollo's world. Yeah, I actually did not know you could bump up the defense by using until recently. Well, not recently anymore, but by using shields, just because I never tried. Yes, I always think I'm the main bad guy, and I don't even remember what she says if I talk to her. I think she says something about she can't heal anymore, but that's okay, and I don't remember, honestly. It's been a while. Oh man, the hardest enemy, the NPC. Okay, so here we're talking to Apollo. He's obviously important because he's tall and has his own music. Thanks us for being Ashura, gives us Magi, says he doesn't need it because he's powerful, and then he says there's Magi, and he tells us, gives us clues where the Magi is in this world. There's 3 riddles, they're pretty easy. You know, if you just kind of walk around, you'll find them. So the first one we're going to go is to the underwater volcano. So now I can't see. Someone said this last time. Those moths there, someone said they look like they have boots on, and now I just see moths with boots every time I see them. Oh, so I hope you like the inside of Key's body's music. because we get to listen to it again as we go to the underwater volcano. So, our robots can just drive through lava, it's fine. We just take 1 HP for every step we take, but it's fine, and we have plenty. Again, we'll be just picking up lots of treasure here to sell. We're going to be actually buying some stuff soon. Yeah, I guess kid me never saw boots. I just assumed it was part of a moth, I guess. I don't know. But now I see boots with wearing boots. Alright, so we're getting more magi in here. We're getting one of our quote-unquote key magis. We actually have to get this one. So it's the True Eye Magi. The next area we're going to, for anyone that doesn't like moving or flashing things, you might not want to watch, because the floor moves in the next area. The community has named it the Disco Dungeon, so let's do a sideways walk here. So that True Eye Magi, if we don't have it, we cannot do this cave. So it says we see well with True Eye. If we didn't have it, everything would just be black and we can't go on to, we can't go to the next area in here. So this is the first part of the game that we can get surprise attacked on. So let's hope that doesn't happen. There's no way for me to avoid surprise attacks with the party I have. If you have monsters, you can get something to prevent surprise attacks, and the espers can learn an ability to not get surprise attacked, but the robots just have to accept it. Alright, so making our way through. And we get a laser sword. So the laser sword is just another agility weapon. So the humans actually gain stats faster than espers in this game. They just can't gain abilities. So hopefully this is not bothering you. I used to love this area as a kid. I used to walk with the, like try to walk with the floor, like stay in the specific square. Like this, like try to be with it on the black or the red. So those saber cats are what we don't want to see. So the reason you shouldn't run if you're playing casually is just to gain stats basically. HP is random for or for humans or espers, so you will randomly gain stats after a battle, depending on what you use. But it's relative to the monsters you're fighting, so you can't just grind out, you know, an agility stat at the beginning of the game based off of easy monsters. I think it's relative to what monsters you're fighting and your stats. Alright, so we are done with the Disco Dungeon. If anyone looked away for reasons that bothered their eyes or whatever. Alright, we're going to the Cave of the North now. We're going to be doing a little shopping trip here soon to make our killer robot even more killer robot-y. So this is the last cave, or the last clue that Apollo gave us. I believe he said something about a cave where the wind blows or something like along those lines. And if you talk to the people in the town below here, they mention that there's a strange noise or wind in this cave. There's two entrances to the cave. The bottom entrance is just for one treasure chest. Even with this category needing all the money we can get, it's so out of the way that's not worth it. So we just go to the top section and get our treasures here. I'm going to be going a little out of my way to get another treasure in this area. We're actually going to keep it and not sell it because it's an elixir, so it'll heal one of our party members to full. But the way that the robots work and the monsters, if they have... I guess I'll do the robots first. So they have set... Each item has like a durability. So the bows have 50, but when you equip it to the robot, it cuts it to 25. Even though it cuts it in half, if you stayed in an inn, use an elixir, or use a tent on them, it recharges all the way back up to the 25. So you can, in essence, keep using them over and over again. Whereas if you're a human or an esper, if you use all 50, the item's gone. So the elixirs will be used to help replenish some of the abilities for companions and the robots later in the run. All right, so Lynn was in here. She fell down that like elevator thing and couldn't get back up. So here we're gonna fight ourselves. Okay, so Lynn's the worst companion in this game. I don't care what anyone says. She has awful stats, she has no abilities that are good, and she makes it so you can't run sometimes. So we're actually, his name is Donatus. He's just a robot here. I always save because he can use the SMG and kill your main damage dealer, but he did not this time. So Lynn was down here trying to find... Lynn was down there trying to find a potion for her mom. So we see Dad's there, and we're like, what the heck's he doing here? This is ridiculous. Let's just get all the magi. Alright, so we are going to buy 2 headbutts and a laser sword. I know it has legs, but kid me didn't see the legs, so... I didn't know what it was. Alright, our robot now has 2 headbutts and 2 laser swords on, just for all the extra agility, and all the extra HP, so he'll be able to do even more damage now and run from everything. I don't know how we equip headbutts on a robot, but we did it somehow. So they kind of hint that Dad is Lynn's dad as well, but they actually do address it in the next world after this, so I'll go over it then. But Dad's just kind of there, and we're like, what? Alright, so this is the Guardian's world, so we have to go turn some music on. And a secret passage appears. The reason you're supposed to know this is the bartender guy. I don't know if they were considered bartenders in the 90s because they censored everything, but they tell you something about the music. So you're supposed to just sit there and play with the music. So you can figure out what to do or where to go. So we haven't seen Dad in a while. He's like, hey, how's it going? You should go to bed. So we're going to bed. As a dad, I do that 100% of the time when I haven't seen my kids for a couple hours. I'm just like, hey, how's it going? You should go to bed. Alright. So, monsters attack. The characters can change. The monsters are the only ones that can change. Final Fantasy Legend of 3 is the one where you can eat meat or equip robot parts and they can change all the time. Alright, so Dad is back in our party. He's back. So all these little mini bosses, we're just gonna kill them with the laser sword. Alright, we want this. We can start getting some of these mini bosses to drop items, which would be nice. Because all the extra money we get is grateful. So as you see, there are our robot's doing a ton of damage. Did almost 900 there. It actually it replaces the bottom of the list shiner. So it depends if you have it replaces the bottom. The Esper replaces the bottom. Oops, one too many. It replaces the bottom of your, at least in this version, of whatever spell you have at the bottom or ability. All right, so this is unexpected attack. This actually isn't. Okay, that's fine. I was like, oh no, who's that? This actually isn't bad because it's only one enemy. Getting an unexpected attack with 12 enemies or something like that is far worse. Alright, so they stole Lynn and took her to the next world. So, the next world, I didn't realize this until much later. I believe it's actually in the manual or wherever the official names of the worlds are. It's called Ambush World. It actually has no shops, so you saw shops in that, like, space world there. Yeah, this is Ambush World. Alright, so here, Lynn is talking about Dad and how he's not really her dad, and Dad helped Lynn and her mom after her real dad died as a guardian. So our dad was trying to help their family out since he's a guardian also. And you get to listen to some awesome music. Oh, Dad was a nuclear bomb, by the way, and he couldn't kill this ninja, but you can just laser sword him and he dies. So if you talk to Lynn or her mom here, we'll just talk to her mom. Her mom says like a couple less dialogue and gives you your magi, and you get to hear the good music for the whole rest of this world. So Dad sacrificed himself for us and Lynn. Yeah, she's 100% better than last Lynn, but she's still awful because martial arts work in this game as, say, I know Punch, for example. Punch has 90 charges. It's useless for about 80 of those charges, and then the last 10 actually do decent damage, and then the last one does a lot of damage. But then it disappears, and you have to re-equip a Punch with 90 charges on it again, and it's worthless again for 80 charges. So martial arts skills are less than ideal, especially for speedrun's sake. You can glitch them though, so they have 0 and stay on, or the boost stays on the robot, but it still takes a long time to use it all the way down. Alright, so this is Venus's world. We are in a giant city here. It's got a giant wall around it. And by talking to the main person here, Venus, she lets us stay here because we defeated Ashura. And then she goes, ho, ho, ho. At least that's how I picture her saying it. But by talking to random NPCs in this world, you'll find out that this is a world for beautiful people. Anyone that's ugly or anything is kicked out of town. So they kick out all the ugly people, and it's only beautiful people allowed in the city. So if you don't talk to Venus, that gate does not open there. So this is the first section, first world where there's actually like a story, there's a plot for the own little world, and that there's actually a lot of triggers to do. So we have to go. The next trigger we have to do is talk to this guy, Leon. He got kicked out of town because he had a broken leg. So you can't be beautiful and have a broken leg. So sorry to anyone that's happened to. If you don't talk to him, you can't go to the next area because that's the only reason I got. This is the sewers. If you try to enter it, it just says like garbage dump or sewers, keep out. But if you talk to Leon, you can go in here. So yeah, those werewolves there are the ones with surprise attack. So every time you see them pop up, it's kind of scary as a speedrun. So just like every other dungeon, we're going to be picking up all the treasure we can find to sell later to buy more things for our robots. We're going to go fight a little mini boss here, a crab or a hermit. And he has a key on him, of course. If you want to, if you're playing casually, if you need meat from that monster, you can save right in front of him and just keep fighting him over and over again, or leave the room and enter it again. He should be there. Same with that key. If you accidentally sell or drop that key, you can get it again from that hermit. So that's always good. It avoids the soft lock. Again, it only sells for 1 gold, so you can't just infinite loop it or anything. So here's definitely a part where probably every kid died playing this game. These 3 treasure chests are Magi, and that 4th treasure chest is a Mimic, but it's a very hard Mimic, especially if you don't expect it. So it just kind of throws it to you. There's only 2 Mimics in this whole game, and they're both in this world, and they never happen again. So it definitely is a giant shock as a kid. Even casually playing, it's a giant shock to be like, oh, there's, not all treasure chests are treasures, and then you have to start saving in front of all of them, even though you don't have to. So I actually, I do run the 4 monster category, occasionally. There's no really way to get teleport before. There's no real way to get teleport on a monster before the dragon race. The only way you can get teleport before the dragon race is if you get teleport from Venus or Donatus on your robot or Esper. If I run into Honeywell, I will fight it for you guys. So Honeywell is a super boss that comes much later in the game. You can randomly encounter it in the last section of the game, so I'll save, and depending on time, I guess too, I'll fight it if I get to it. Alright, so we come out of the garbage dump and we're in Venus's castle. And then we talk to this lady, and it's Flora. This is the person that Leon loves. But for whatever reason you talk to her and a volcano appears. So because it's a JRPG, since a volcano appeared, we should probably go to it. So we are going to go to the volcano. But it's actually not random that a volcano appears if you play, if you actually play it casually and talk to everyone. They do say something about like the world shaking and other things like that. So it is random still, but it's not as random. Yeah, so for everyone confused on what chat's talking about, Donatus, the robot we fought earlier, the way you can learn skills as a mutant or an Esper in this game is it depends on what you fight. There's a certain tier level of spells you can learn. The harder the monster, the more spells you can learn from him. Donatus is flagged as an end game monster, so you can learn any spell from the game off of him. So casually, sometimes people farm things. The fastest way to beat the game glitchless still is having an Esper in your party and learning teleport. Especially for this world, it saves about 2 to 3 minutes by like when we were in the sewer. As soon as you get the Magi, you just teleport out. You don't have to walk out or anything. Alright, so we're in a volcano, collecting more Magi, burning our bodies, and as you see there's a... Leon looks like he is following us, so... I don't know how he's surviving and walking on all this lava. I mean, we're robots, so in theory we should be able to live, you know, as long as it's built for the lava, but he's just a dude with a broken leg, or used to have a broken leg. Unless they gave him a metal robot leg, I guess. But I also like what they do with Leon there, because they make it look like he's like stopping right behind you, and then all of a sudden he's like, oh crap, and like turns around like to run away. Okay, so this is what we don't want to see. This fight's awful. All right, good. So the magician, so the serpent has surprise also, but the magician, the last robot should at this point with my agility dodge everything. But the magician uses magic spells, which you can't dodge. And since our mana stat is 0, our robots take massive, massive damage. Crap, I need that treasure chest. I forgot what I'm doing. So we don't want to see the magician fight either. Alright, I forgot to get the fire sword in there, so I'm going to turn around and get the fire sword because it sells for 8,000. Like I said, we need all the money we can get, especially coming up into the, in a world or two, we're going to be actually farming for quite a while to get lots of money to make our robots not useless. We just skipped that one. It's just a magic potion. You could save it for later, for a companion for later. Or you can sell it for 500 gold, but either way, it's not really worth that much. Alright, making our way through our volcano. Hanging out with Leon as he runs away from us. Picking up all the treasures to sell. Yeah, we won't be using a gun here unless we get it as a drop, because we'll be skipping the dungeon you get it in. Because we gotta go fast. Alright, so Fire Magi, we get a Power Magi, but Leon comes out of nowhere and punches our robot self and takes the Magi. So again, if you had teleport, you could just teleport all the way back to Venus's town and avoid taking damage, or avoid running into any enemies or anything. Alright, so on to Venus's town again. I did not talk about the poison and glitch category. Poison works really weird in this game. If your character gets poisoned and dies, and the last action was not in like an attack or anything, it can just completely glitch the game. You can make it so your monsters get transformed, your robots have equipment they shouldn't have. There's actually credits work with the poison glitch, so poison works very weird in this. Poison doesn't work on robots though, so we don't have to worry about accidentally getting poisoned. Alright, so this, for story's sake, Venus is forcing Niles and Flora to get married. But Leon comes in with the Magi and a knife and tries to fight her, and she just swats him away. And then, okay, so Flame's less than ideal there. Alright, so if she uses double flame, there's nothing you can do, so you just reset and do it again. That's literally the only thing that can kill you is double flame at this point. So Blitz Whip is fine. So Leon comes in and tries to save Flora. Flora's like, "Don't do it, Venus. It's fine. I'll marry Niles." And then she actually says like, "I don't want to be here anyways," and she like puts a scar on her face. And she's like, "Look, I can't marry him now. I have to get kicked out of town." And then she's like, "You can't tell me what to do." And then she starts to fight everyone. So we got 2 laser sword misses, which is really bizarre. Our agility is high enough that we shouldn't be missing. But luckily she didn't use flame over and over again. Depending on your equipment, you can either kill Venus with 3 laser swords or 4 laser swords. We have just a little less damage, so we had to do 4 rounds. Alright, so everyone's happy now. Venus is dead. I guess everyone didn't like her. They just kind of gloss over it, like, "Hey, she's dead, cool, bye." Oops. So, on to the next world. We're just ruining everyone's lives on our journey to save the world. Alright, so we are going to go to the dragon race now. You can pick one of 4 dragons. If you go to the left there, Apollo's actually here saying he's holding a dragon race. So I always pick the second fastest one because it goes faster and it's a little easier to control than the hardest one. I saved because you can get surprise attacked and die, so. Alright. So the first, depending on how fast of a robot you, depending on how fast of a dragon you pick depends on how many mini-bosses you fight. So, if you pick the fastest, you have 4 mini-bosses, the slowest is just 1. I picked the second fastest, so there's 3 mini-bosses, but the first mini-boss, you can just run from. So, we're going to be resetting for 1 or 2 Lamias to destroy with our laser sword. Alright, so that's the fight we definitely don't want to see, because you can die. So we're going to save here. So this is the last mini-boss. It's a Watcher. In a casual playthrough, you could grind to get meat off them, because it's a late-game monster, or the any percent category or the any percent glitchless category, we actually have to eat the meat of this guy to have a monster that's capable of letting us defeat certain things, and it has warnings, so we will be able to avoid unexpected attacks. Hey, we won! Congratulations! Alright, so we got our Magi, so we're out of here. That world takes a lot longer, and the main category for this is any percent glitchless that people run. And you have to sit there and save and fight the Watcher over and over and over again to get meat. So on to the next world, which is personally my favorite. It's Edo. It takes place like in Edo, Japan, or the Edo time period. But it's also mixed with the opioid wars of China, so it's weird. It like mixes the two together. Alright, so we need to do a little bit of shopping first. Just one thing, and then I'll to buy a tank. Oop, I gotta sell stuff first. Ah crap, I sold an elixir. Oh well. Alright, so Yeet is getting the tank. I'll save just in case. I should be fine, but Yeet gets the tank because he's the fastest, so he should go. Oops, I have to talk to the main one, I guess. Ooh, 8. So 8's good. The more the enemies there are, the more money we get, so. Tank's just an AoE attack, so it kills everything. Alright, so we defeat the Hamatos, and then Hannah comes in and, she, saves us from them. And then we're just like, hey, she's pretty cool. So we're gonna go see her now. Yeah, the tank's really good. It's an AoE, does massive damage to enemies, and then it also has a 70 or 80% chance to block physical attacks. So, but we bought it mainly for the AoE attack. So we could take out big targets like those. I guess I should have also specified it. There's a lot of attacks in this game. Single targeting attacks is mostly what we have. There are a couple AoE attacks that attack like a group of enemies. So there's 8 of those Hamatos, they attacked all 8. And there's also attacks that attack everyone. So if there's a party of, 5 groups, 5 or 3 enemies of 5 each, it'll attack all 3 groups of 5 each. Alright, so this again is another world where there's a lot of triggers. So the first trigger is you have to defeat the Hamatos, then you have to talk to Hannah, and then you have to go and talk to Ichigoya behind the counter, and he tells you that he's bringing smuggled goods in on this boat. So we're going to go to the boat and find this the smuggled goods. Yeah, so I can be surprise attacked still because I don't have warning at all. Yeah, so as chat's talking, you see, like, agility is broken in this game. You need agility for everything, so even if you do a non-agility type character or anything, you're still going to need agility at some point to have a chance to hit things. Alright, so here on the boat, we're going to get a couple more treasures. We got a laser gun. fight. A tank, and then we get a Hermes, or a Hectite boot. So here, if anyone's ever played this game casually, they know the random thing you find out. So here we find out that Ichigoya is smuggling in bananas, because the 1990s said you can't have opioids in an American game, so they translated it to bananas instead of opioids. So there's that. Oh, that's surprising. They turned Hannah to stone, which is fine because I don't need her anyways. Oh, cool. Thanks for the unexpected attacks, game. So we're going to be doing what we've called, what we call the Edo grind soon, where we're going to be grinding to. Jeez, oh man, I'm getting unexpected attack like crazy. Black market goods. Black market goods sounds much better than bananas, though, I would say. Alright, so here we're talking to the judge. He's like, hey, thanks for bringing the charges, and we're gonna go arrest Ichigoya finally for smuggling in his bananas, and he's like, what are you talking about? I don't have anything, and they're like, there's nothing on that boat. Alright. So we found out that Ichigoya is tied by, tied in the office. The officers are, being paid off by Ichigoya, we find out. So Kami went to see what's going on, and he got beat up. Banana dens. Alright, so we decide we're going to take care of Ichigoya ourselves. So we are going to get back over here, and then we are going to start conducting the Edo grind. Yeah, Venus is, I guess I should specify, like, kind of, Venus is the real stopping point, not stopping point, the real, like, first roadblock as a kid, because it's the first boss, well, it's only the second boss of the game, but you don't have a companion with you, and you can't use any magic on her, so if you're surviving off magic to that point, you can't really do anything anymore. Alright. So we're going to be looking for groups of gazers and knights to fight down here. But we can do it easily by talking to this guy over and over again. So we're going to be blowing them up with a tank and getting lots of money, and hopefully if we fight knights, they drop items. So the knight's sprite to me as a kid, I always saw their sword as like a wooden sword, like a play sword. So we have to do this because we need money for to equip the robots, since they're so dependent on equipment. So we like to see the knights, but we would like to see the knights drop items so we can sell those as well. So yeah, sadly we have to do this in this category, so hopefully you like watching a tank blow up stuff. Hey, flame sword, nice. So every item we get that I accidentally sold, I would have used now, but I do have a second laser, or a second elixir. So it saves time to use it, and it recharges the tank like you're staying in an inn. So. No bananas. Hey, I got a Thunder Axe that time. So we don't want to see this fight, and this is why I should save often, but I don't. But it's fine, I'll just run and save now. Hey, a flame shield, nice. Alright, so I should have plenty of money with the drops I'm getting. I got 3 drops so far, so that's more than I've done it before by getting 0 drops, so. We're still gonna get extra, all the extra money we get, it just saves and helps in the long run. So, even though I have gotten drops, I'm still going to keep fighting. Shoutouts to Zardia for this this section. He found this great place to grind, and it's super simple and easy. But yeah, this game's super user-friendly for anyone that wants to speedrun it. Not this category maybe, but there's plenty of categories for the small community the game has. So I just figured I'd throw that little plug in there for the game while I kill knights and eyeballs over and over again. It's not the longest grind, but it feels long compared to everything else you do in this game. Especially because I usually run any percent glitchless, so. Alright, one more tank and then I will go fight the mini boss here. Alright, so we got 3 drops and a lot of money, so we should definitely be good. Guess I'll save. So Ichigo is actually meeting with the Shogun about the bananas. So Shogun's working to keep the police quiet, and they're splitting the money. Ho ho! And then all of a sudden we change the music, and the game actually acknowledges it, which is funny. Like, what is this music? So I always assume that we like kick the door down and we like turn a knob on our robot, and that's the music changing. Alright, so we take out all the Hamatos right away. And then we're going to kill the kill Ichigo with our laser sword. Oh, we got a psychic sword. Nice. More money. Alright, so we kill them all. And then we find out that Taro is actually a guardian. And he asks about our dad. And we're like, oh, he's dead. And we're like, oh, I'm sorry. Let's go avenge Lin's father together. So we're going to go defeat this Shogun with Taro on our team. But first, we have to go shopping. The theme music player built into his frame. Yeah, you just turn the knob. Alright, let's see what we can buy. Alright, 2 extra laser guns is actually quite nice. So we got an Aegis Magi off of Venus, so we're going to be using that. You need a laser sword, a cat claw, you need a tank, and then... Alright. Alright, I'll have to buy a cat claw later, I almost forgot. Alright, so now our robots are becoming a little less worthless. Oh, I actually have to equip Robo with something. So I'll equip one of these bows on Robo. Robo has to have something equipped, so I can use the Magi as an item. Unexpected attack. Oh boy, that's not good. So this fight, I forgot this can be an unexpected attack because I don't have people in my party. Well, this is not good. This fight, if you run into it later in this same dungeon, you can't run from it because it's flagged as the entrance fight, and you can't run from this fight. So you have to kind of remember the layout. As you see here, the tank is deflecting all the attacks, the physical attacks. Taro is hitting the samurai with the weapon that's strong against humans, which is why it's getting, or the ninja, I'm sorry, why it's getting the mighty blow. Alright, well that was a disaster. I forgot that I don't have warning, so I can get surprise attacked. Alright, making our way through the Edo complex for right now. It's not a castle or a dungeon yet. Alright, here is the next dungeon. For me, as a kid, this was a huge stopping spot, because it's not even maze-y, but as a kid, having more than one place to go made it a maze to me. You can go right or left in all the next 4 areas, but it's not that hard, but as a kid, it's like, what? It's not a straightforward path like the rest of the game has been, so... It's just right, left, right, left. But again, as a kid, I didn't know my agility would make me run from everything, so I was fighting lots of extra stuff in here, and it was a lot harder than it needed to be. These unexpected attacks have been very rough today. So here we're going to be picking up some more treasure, just to sell. The body potion gives a human or an Esper extra HP, but we just pick it up to sell because it's there, and it's in the way pretty much to sell. I did, but I don't remember having this game in any of the magazines or manuals. like an actual like walkthrough. So this fight is also flagged as the entrance fight. So you have to fight this. If you run, you'll just get a can't run, and they'll just attack you like crazy. I have heard that before about the heat is on. I don't know if it's supposed to be a rip-off of it or not. Oh man. So this is like worst case scenario is doing this fight more than once. And I got it 2 extra times, so you have to fight it. Well, at least it's extra money. Alright, so we get a dragon sword. So this is... the dragon sword is the beginning of our strength build of the robot that we're going to be making a strength robot. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? I mean, casually you wouldn't know that this is flagged as a can't run fight. So you would be trying to run if you wanted to and dying. But knowing that I can't run from this, I'm fighting them, but it's still just, it wastes so much time having to fight them over and over again. Yeah, the mechanics are kind of broken, especially agility. I'm gonna just actually save, because I don't want to have to do that fight a 4th time. Yeah, this game's super fun. I played it a bunch as a kid, which is why I got into it as a speedrun. Alright, so we now get a super broken weapon, a samurai bow. And Yellow's gonna be using that. Robo's gonna be our strength robot, I guess. Alright, so here we fight the Shogun. The Shogun is a super hard fight. So hard that we didn't heal or anything, we're just gonna go for it. Oh, and he's dead. So he's not the real bad guy. His dad, Magnate's the real bad guy. Alright, so we gotta use Taro and heal everyone up. Alright, so Magnate's really hard even casually. He can use Tornado. If he uses Tornado, there's nothing you can do. And if he uses it twice, there's definitely nothing you can do. So we don't want to see that. Okay, that is a great first attack. That's why I put the tank on the first robot, to block physical attacks. So we want to see physical attacks or magic attacks now. Using the Aegis in this game, the Aegis Magi, it protects that character, and it says there's a barrier on the party, so my party is now protected from magical attacks, or elemental attacks, I'm sorry, not all out, not magical. So if he uses ice, thunder, or anything like that, it won't affect my party. Alright, simple fight with no tornado. Alright, that was good. So we are going to the next area, and the next dungeon, or the next world, is just called the Nasty Dungeon, or the Nasty Dungeon World, maybe. It is just one cave that has 10 floors on it, and it gets progressively harder, and you get amazing treasure chests the further you go down. But because we're speedrunning it and it takes too long, we're gonna grab the Magi, and then we're just gonna leave. So we are just going to run out of there, grab the Magi, and leave. If you go through all 10 floors, it gets harder and harder. You'll fight a lot of hard enemies, get a lot of amazing treasure that would help you, and help anyone, but it just takes too long. That sprite or fairy that's next to the treasure, if you talk to her, she's like, I wouldn't go in there, you know, this dungeon is nasty. If you're just kind of like, okay, whatever, at the end of the dungeon, she'll be waiting there, and she goes like, I told you it was nasty, didn't I? If you say yes, she lets you leave. If you tell her no, that you didn't think it was nasty, she will be like, well, then you can do it again. And she'll teleport you onto floor 5, so like right in the middle of the 10 floor dungeon. So either way you go, you still have to fight your way out for 5 floors. Except they give you the Pegasus Magi, so you can just teleport out of there, because that's what the Pegasus Magi does. You keep hearing the heat is on. I don't know if it is. I think I'm just so used to the music that I just hear the music. So this is Valhalla. If you were to die during the game, you would be teleported here and talk to Odin. And Odin would be like, oh, I'll revive you because, like, he'll give you a big long speech about fighting the strongest warriors, and he wants to, and if we promise to fight him someday, that he'll revive us. So you let him revive you, and you can do that fight over again. It's kind of like a safety mechanism. But since I saved and didn't die, I reloaded. Oh, I didn't save it, or I didn't die, did I? I don't remember. But if you don't die, when you... Oh yeah, I did. Venus did. If you don't die during the run, you can, when you talk to Odin, you just instantly get into a fight. And he doesn't give you a speech before or after the fight, but if you die, he gives you a speech before and after the fight. So again, most of the treasure chests we're picking up to sell. A couple we're keeping for our companion in the next world. So this boss is also pretty tough. It's one of the first... I think actually it's the only boss in this game that... yeah, I died on Venus. She double flamed. But this is the first and only boss in the game that he's not by himself. Odin will have Sleipnir, and instead of a crow, or instead of a raven, it's going to have Odin's crow with him. So we have to take out everything. Alright, so hopefully Odin is kind, because Odin can be a jerk. Actually, let's do this. Alright. So the samurai bow is super powerful. Alright, Odin did nothing, which means he was going to decide for some reason to cure his, hit one of his characters. So we want to see magic attacks and not his spear, because his spear will just start slowly killing enemies, or my guys one by one, like he is doing now. We want to see thunder, lightning, or ice, and not the spear like we're seeing. Okay, well, we still got him. And we didn't get Sleipnir meat, so that's good. So as you saw, we got 37,000 gold. If the Sleipnir drops meat, you get 330 gold. So especially for this category, it's a huge task to find an extra 30,000 gold. Alright, so I don't know who found it out, but shout outs to them. If you use the Pegasus Magi in Valhalla's castle, it teleports you to the other side. So we don't have to walk all that way out of there, so shout outs to them. Alright, so on to the last world. The final world, I believe it's called. So we have all the Magi but one, because there's 77 we were told at the beginning of the game. So here, Apollo is waiting for us. He has the 77th and says that he wants it, and he's going to fight us for it. So he sends his minions after us. So flame's like the worst to see. We're probably gonna have to reset here. We want to see gas, not tornado for sure. So in the any percent glitches category, this boss can actually be stoned. So you can stone him, but we want to see gas or our Aegis to get off. Not flame. So this is this is where the roadblock of this party starts to come effect. This party can't deal with adversity at all. So, or magic attacks. So we just have to kind of keep going and hoping that we can defeat bosses. This is part of the reason the estimate is so high, is because, alright, so now my team can't be hit by elemental attacks, which is good. The estimate's so high because there's certain bosses that it's just kind of YOLOing it, which is the perfect that we have a robot named YOLO. Because there's nothing you can do, you just go in and try to do your best. Alright, so he, Apollo has all the people that we've saved throughout the worlds, and says he's gonna, kill them or anything if we don't give him the Magi. But oh no, Dad's here to save us. So Dad says that the Guardians actually hid the fact that there's 78 Magi and not 77. So there's a secret hidden last Magi. So we are going to get that last Magi. We're gonna go heal since we got beat up pretty bad. Alright, so we don't want to fight this fight at all if possible. Two, that people can stone us. And that's not good. I'm actually going to buy a cat claw right away because I think I have enough. Yeah, I have enough money. Because I forgot to buy one in the Edo world. So YOLO can deal some cat claw damage. I have a lot of treasure. I have lots of space, alright. Man, the hardest enemy is NPCs. Okay, so we're going to the final dungeons that somehow no one ever decided to explore this area before. And you can watch the faces or walls have faces on them. You can enjoy that. So as you saw our couple fights, the last couple bosses, our robots have been becoming more and more useful, except just the last one. So We're going to be getting more treasure in here to make more of them useful. Get the Sun Sword, which is, we'll be using that on our Strength Robot. Our Strength Robot will be finally getting a weapon in this dungeon to deal damage, so that's good. We did have, so we had 76 Magi. Apollo stole all of them off us, so we have 0 now, and Apollo has 77 of them. So we're going to get the last one, so we can mess with Apollo. Because it's told if you use them all, you can become a god, so that's what all the people that have had Magi have been doing. Alright, getting some Arthur armor. We'll just be selling that. It's not very far out of the way, and we need all the money we can get, so... I guess I should save, just in case. I don't want anyone to get stoned. It's funny, last couple runs of this I've done of this category, I actually got Sleipnir meat instead of not getting Sleipnir meat. So I was short 37,000 gold, so it'll be nice this time to actually have the money. So our Strength Robot is going to be using a weapon we haven't gotten yet for its main attack. Even though he has 0 agility, he should be able to hit, or he will be able to hit with the weapon we're going to get him. Or her, I guess. It. Because it's it's an auto hit and everything. Almost there. Alright, so this is the symmetrical room, so you know there's something here. So if you go through the wall, you can get Excalibur. So Robo's gonna be doing stuff now, finally. So I'm just going to throw this tank on him for extra HP. Alright, so we got Excalibur. So Excalibur, Dragon Sword, Sun Sword. Our Strength Robot can finally do something. Alright, almost to the end here. So here we're going to be fighting a very familiar face that you guys do and do not know, or you should know. We're going to be fighting Warmech. Minion and Warmech, you could actually stone if you have a character that has the stone ability, or stone gaze, I guess, but we do not have that, so let's go. So I think Warmech I don't remember how much HP he has, but he's got a lot, but since we're doing tons of damage over and over again, we should be good. Robo, since he has no agility, he's always going to go last. He should always go last, I should say. So Nuke Bomb is what we don't want to see, because it does a lot more damage than the missile. But we should still be okay. Hey, we got him. More money. Alright, so now we get the last Magi, the Heart Magi. If you equip the Magi of Heart and use it in a battle, it'll revive your whole party with full HP. So it's pretty useful. What else we got? Oh. Alright, so I need to make my strength robot good. Or that should be good. Alright, let's give him his dragon swords. So we're just doing some shopping. No, I can't. I need, sadly, just gonna be double tank. Alright, this should be good. 861 is the main thing on that last robot. We need him to be good. I would have liked to buy one more laser gun for the first robot, just because it does more damage than a tank. But, this should be fine. Because we need to buy, stuff to survive later. I always overbuy these, just it looks intense. I have to roll England now, because I'm picking out Excalibur. Dang. Thanks, game. Alright, well at least I didn't do any damage or anything. Alright, so now all 4 robots are useful. They can do things. As I get in a million battles. That door at the bottom of the place to come up here, if you don't have the Heart Magi, you can't come up here, so you have to have it. Alright, so we wanted to be saving before we fight Apollo, who was no one knew was the bad guy. So we find out he already used the Magi, so we have to defeat him before then. So for 5 turns, Apollo is just going to talk trash to us. So for 5 turns, we're just going to attack him. Alright, so for 5 turns, Apollo just kind of talks trash to us, and you're not supposed to know that all these items can be used on him, I think. So, we're just gonna use them anyways. Then after 5 turns, we'll be able to use our cat claws and actually do real damage to him. Most of the time in this, with like as a kid, I was like, man, this game is impossible. I don't know how to do this. But now that I realize you can actually deal damage to him during the first phase, it's a little easier. Alright, so we did enough damage already that he's melting. Hopefully... Alright, well, I have to do this fight again because only Dad is alive, and... Dad takes the damage for the whole party, so... You get to listen to Apollo's music again. So the one thing that happened. He attacked our guy with the most HP, which he's in the back. Oops, I used the cat claws. He's in the back, so he's like a 12% chance of being targeted. So the game decided they wanted to do that anyways. This is the longest fight to lose to, because you have to go through 5 phases, 5 turns of nothingness. But enjoy the music and Apollo being smug looking at us for 5 more turns. Alright, so again, the 5 turns are up, so let's hope he doesn't attack Yeet again. Attacking Dad's not good either, but I will, I can fix that. I'll use the Heart Magi this turn as a precaution. So everyone's dead but the last guy, and he's going to use the Heart Magi, so everyone's back to life. And then we can actually just run this last phase. And Apollo's melting, so he blows up because he's melting, and Dad actually saves us and jumps in front of the explosion for everyone. Alright, so Dad saved us, he jumped in front of the explosion. So we're going to use all the Magi, and Dad's like, no, don't do it. We're like, we don't know what's going to happen, let's just use them all. So we have all of them, so we're going to use all of the Magi. Because we promised Mom we would bring Dad back with us. So here we get Isis. Isis is going to read our mind, save our dad, and try to save the world, because Apollo wasn't the real last boss. So hopefully you don't mind the screen shaking, because it's going to be shaking for a long time now. Yeah, Dad fell right on. Yeah, Dad's dead again. So, at this point in the game, we can't run from anything. We can't run from any battles, so we're going to be having to fight everything on the way down. Back-to-back unexpected attacks, huh? It's a noise you don't hear very often. So, not much to say here, we're just going to be descending down, running through the gauntlet of enemies. We're going to fight 2 mini-bosses along the way. You'll see some good monster names while you're down here. So when we see Samurai Bow, that's nice because it saves us from having to use an elixir on Isis, so she gets her flare charges back. So that's why we bought all the elixirs and tents earlier, is because Isis is just going to be spamming flare, and this will make it so she has all of the, like, she'll have chargers all the time. Alright, one flare left. Yeah, there's some good ones. I assume Fire Spider, I guess? Alright, last flare. Eight, holy cow. Ruba just took 3,200 damage. Alright, so we're getting towards the end here. We're a little going fast, but the last boss can take one try or can take like 5 tries. Because I am a party of robots, I have no way to cure myself. So there's nothing I can really do about it. It's completely random, so... Alright, so here's the first mini-boss. It's Taelong. So you want to see 1, if possible, but I'll try with 2. Missing with the cat claw is less than ideal, especially because he uses Tornado. But because I don't need a meat drop, I'll let Isis hopefully kill him with her flares. Alright. So they always drop meat, which is good for the speed run of when you have a monster, so you can upgrade your monster here. Alright, 1 flare left. My favorite monster down here is probably the Demon Lord, but they don't have enough characters and everything else, so it's spelled Demo Load. That might be one of my favorites. And Hydra. So as you saw, with our party, we've completely abandoned any defense for any reason. We just went all strength and agility on our monsters just to do the most damage as fast as we can. It's some of the monsters in this will survive flare, as you see Sleipnir did. So we have to kind of put our other attacks on certain enemies just in case they make it. So sometimes this happens, sometimes Isis decides to not go first, even though I think she should always go first since she's Isis, but... Guess I'll save again just in case, since we can be ambushed down here. Iron Man's, huh? Alright, here's the second mini-boss. It's a Fenrir. Again, 1 or 2. Okay, well 3 would just automatically reset because we can't beat 3. If they decide to spam Tornado, there's nothing we can do about it, so... Like that. But I don't have anyone healed, which is why they died, but I do have enough flares that she should be able to defeat them. Alright. Again, Fenrir always drops meat as well. So I'm healing all the way because right now, in this last floor, I could fight an optional super boss if it decides to show up, a Honeywa. So if I run into it, I said I would fight it, so I'm saving and preparing in case I run into it. The optional super boss is Honeywa. It has 10,000 HP. It has Flare, Quake, Bash, and I don't know if it has anything else, but it also gains, it regains 1,000 HP at the end of every round. So that is less than ideal. I don't think there's any theme to them. We didn't run into them. I don't know if you can on this half of the, like this second part of this dungeon, but you can run into the terrorist guys are actually SS down here. So there's that. Ooh, a karate's actually really good because it will boost our agility a lot and give us more HP. Yeah, you can get the 7 sword. I've never gotten the 7 sword, but the Honeywa has a chance to drop the 7 sword. I think it's a strength-based weapon, but you need agility to just hit with it still or something, I don't know. Alright, almost to the end of the little mini maze here. No flares left, which is perfect. I guess I equipped the headbutt on this robot for extra HP. I don't think anyone attacked. Oh, I did have one. Yeah, there is a remake of the DS version, or there is a remake on the DS, but it is Japan only, I believe. Alright, sadly no super boss for you guys. Alright, so here we have to hope that RNG is good and fight Arsenal. If I can get some RNG blesses in chat, that would be great. So here is Arsenal. His first phase is he has 4 cannons. They each have 1,000 life, 1,000 HP. And the more damage you do, the less damage they deal to us. So obviously we'd like to take them out as fast as possible. Alright, the second phase is the Small Smasher. The Small Smasher, single targeting. You can dodge it, or you can block it with the tank, or you can just die by it, Hank. Alright, the third phase is the large smasher. It hits everyone and it has completely random damage. It has anywhere from 63 to 639 damage, and it doesn't matter on your stats at all. So this is why the estimate is so high at 230, because even though I'm at the last boss can just literally kill me 5 or 6 times if it wants to, like that. Alright, let's go again. I'm actually going to switch the strength and the agility robot. The agility robot has a better chance to dodge the second phase smasher. So alright, so taking out that cannon there before getting off the 2 cannon attacks actually kind of matters for damage sake. Yeah, the self-fix can fix it, but you'll be doing less damage. You can get it. It's in the nasty dungeon, but it's out of the way. The self-fix heals 10% of your robot's HP at the end of every round. Alright, so next round he's definitely using the big smasher, because he didn't this round, and we just did a ton of damage to him. So hopefully the big smasher is kind. Oh man, I didn't want it to go off right away. If only we could heal. So time is gonna be when it says Arsenal died or Arsenal defeated. Oh, all right. So time. Having low damage rolls helps a lot with the main robots. Yeah, 4 robots is either hit or miss. It can sometimes take a long time, and alright, so that's Isis. Let's go talk to take the elevator out of here. Thanks for all the GGs, guys. So that's Final Fantasy Legend 2. Yeah, sorry I wasn't able to run into the Honeywa. It just went. I honestly went better than I thought it would. The run. I got a lot of drops to make buying stuff a little easier. Arsenal was pretty kind. Alright, so I got the okay. I'm going to try to get the Honeywa. So let me reset real quick. So I'm going to walk around and try to get the Honeywa for you guys, since we were a little ahead. So I think, if I remember correctly, I can soft reset 3 times out of 3, or 4 times. And the 4th time should be the fight, I thought I was told. Unless it's hard reset. If that's the case, then I failed. Alright, so one more time. This hopefully should be it. Probably not, though. It is not. Alright, I will give myself... I'll set my timer again. I'll go for like 5 minutes, if that's okay with mods and everyone. I'll go for 5 minutes to look for it. If I don't get it, then I don't get it. Since I went ahead of schedule. Thanks for all the GGs again, by the way. Appreciate it. It's a fun run if anyone wants to learn it. There's plenty of people that run it, so. So the Haniwa is the only fight you can actually run from down here. Yeah, so if you don't know your way around, this actually can be kind of mazy. Yeah, the enemy names are awesome. Alright, 1 flare left. So yeah, if you don't know that you can just keep healing the flares over and over again, this section's actually pretty stinking hard. But if you know that you can just keep recycling flares and healing and flare and healing, it's not too bad. But this area, if you don't know where you're going, it's pretty mazy actually. But there's actually party chat in this game. So if you press, I think it's B during the while you're walking around in the overworld, or just walking around. Isis says something about, like, try to make your way to the top left, or something along those lines. So that's how you're kind of supposed to guess where to go. Yeah, go to the left and head upwards. Alright, halfway done with my my Haniwa hunting. If you actually go here, you can kind of see where you're supposed to go. Come on, game, be kind. Let me see the boss. Or the optional boss. Alright, 1 flare left. Man, I didn't think they were this... I feel like I usually run into them more than never. Yeah, if you just try to eat meat with your robot, nothing happens. Alright, well, doesn't look like it's gonna happen. I tried to find the Haniwa. I don't know if there's a set way... defense sword. I don't know if there's a set way to encounter it, but... if there is, I'm not sure how to do it, so... Yeah, so I still take tons of damage with my physical attacks and everything since I don't have any defense. Alright, probably one more fight after this to see if it's there. If it's not, then I'm sorry I failed you, Twitch chat. Alright, I have one flare left, so I'll do that last flare and be done, I guess. Nope, I tried. I tried, guys, sorry. I just want to say thanks for having me. It was a pleasure. It was a blast. I had a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed the run and enjoyed the beginning of the week and the rest of the week and everything. And, yeah, thanks for having me, I guess.